Hey, this will be a video chart on WAVX, Wave Systems Corporation. Um, Done this one quite a few times way back when it was actually kind of right around $1 or so, and it's since taken off quite a bit. We've had some real nice volume days that correspond with nice price movements, here being the most recent. And I've had quite a few requests on this, so I want to get it updated since I have been kind of slacking off since it's been making these good moves. But nonetheless, here we are. So let's kind of dig in and kind of go over what's been going on with the chart. The first thing that I kind of want to point out, just kind of squeeze this over here, and want to start off with a trend line here that the chart had basically been struggling with for quite some time. And actually, it's a great example of technical analysis. No, that's not quite accurate there. That's better. But if you look here, you can see that starting from this point, it did a good job of forecasting the resistance right here. Once again, it did a good job right there. And then even right here, the price couldn't quite get above it. However, when it did get above it, at this point, Technical Analysis 101, it became a support level because the resistance was broken, it became a support. And then look at that, right here it came back, the price back tested it as support and then made a big jump up. So just a great example here of technical analysis. So with that being said, I'm going to make this green because this is one of the key support levels that we have going on. So let me extend this out some, and just keep that in mind when I zoom it back in here, where that trend line was derived from. There we go. So once again, we have this support line here. This is kind of one of our what I'd like to call kind of a must-hold support, meaning if the price falls all the way down, and I don't know if it will, but let's say it does, this line you'd like to see it hold again. Obviously, that would be quite a long ways of a fall from where we are right now, but that's why I kind of call it a must-hold. It's kind of like a last chance type thing. So I'll make that a little thicker to remind everybody that this is an important support level. Now, obviously, we have some other support levels besides that one. The kind of shorter term one is going to be down here where we had this gap up from. This is also going to be a support level right here at $1.95. So I'll change that to green. But this one is more where if it doesn't hold, then nothing to freak out about because there are still other support levels below you, including the 50-day simple moving average along with our trend line here that we've established. So ideally, chart would look great if the price came down here and hovered before heading back up. But is that required in order for the chart to remain good looking? No. It can still pull back a little bit more and look fine. But for right now, these past 2 days have been very nice, basically completely sideways. And then with this sideways action, you can see a decrease in volume, and that's what you want to see happen when you get red days like this. That'd be a different story if we had these 2 red days and then a couple huge volume bars. That wouldn't be too ideal, but that's not the case here. We've just had clearly some profit taking going on, and congratulations. Who knows? It might be people that bought in down here or somewhere on these days just deciding to lock in some profits. But the important thing is it's not like there's a huge dump or anything going on. And you can see that by simply looking at the volume. Now, resistance-wise, the key resistance is just simply the previous high here that was formed back on the 19th. The profit takers decided to come in and step in at $2.98. So let me get that changed. Now, in order to figure out some of these other resistances, what we're going to have to actually do is go to the weekly chart because we just haven't been to these highs for quite a while. So here's a weekly chart, and as you can see, even with the weekly, we're going to have to shrink it up quite a bit here. And there we go. Move this out of the way here. You can see right here, we are at $3, which is where that resistance is. And after $3, well, sticking out, you can see kind of why we're having some resistance here. Quite a bit of history here. $3 knocked it down here. $3 knocked it down a few times back over here. So once again, looking back here, you can see why this $3 level is being pretty stubborn. But if you can get through $3, the next resistance is not up here until this high right here at 350. So Percentage speaking, that'd be a nice little move right there between resistance levels. So I'm not going to go any further than that, just because we want to do one step at a time. But from a resistance standpoint, $3 is the pain, and once again we have some previous history with that. But after that, the next resistance is up at $3.50. But overall, checking out the chart, you can see how it bottomed out here, and since that time has just been a nice slow uptrend. In fact, even the 50-week simple moving average has curled up, and probably within the next probably 6 months or so, it'll be looking to get the golden cross here as the 50-week crosses up through the 200-week moving average. So chart's looking good, and it's been just in a beautiful uptrend all of 2009 actually, because this bottomed out here back in 2008, and then 2009 was just one big uptrend, and very clearly you can see that it continues into 2010. So if there are any other questions on the chart, please let me know. If not, I'd encourage you to check out bullwarriorstocks.com. If you go there and sign up for the free newsletter, you'll be sent a free ebook, which has been getting really good reviews. And then with your newsletter subscription, you'll get chart setups, trade ideas, educational pieces, all sorts of things, from big boards down to penny stocks. So there's a good variety, something for everybody. And best part is it's all free, so it's worth at least signing up and checking out and giving it a try. One more time, this was WAVX. Thanks for listening.